Hi, welcome to this channel on magnetic energy, technology, principles, applications. Ooh, so unconventional, so very, very unconventional. So we're talking about mapping information, which this relates to like how to figure out like what's true, what's not true, where the information comes from and everything. So in this model, essentially all the energy in this universe it's an encoded universe. So everything, I mean really everything in the physical universe basically, but then all information is totally encoded down to, in conventional terms, the subatomic, the quantum levels. They use other terms, but it can go like almost like infinitely deep if necessary, depending on how far out the encoding goes. So what that means in terms of information is we are still at the beginning of the state, of the enlightenment process. The enlightenment process. So we're still near the beginning, but as we get further into it, we get this interesting thing that happens with an expansion of consciousness and a connection to the universal mind. Any bit of information that you come across, like some delusional guy ranting about enlightenment on YouTube. No, but seriously, it could be anything we're raised with, any belief systems, anything in religions, politics, everything. Any type of information, we're going to start to gain this ability to basically map the source of that information. And I'll just give an example real quick. So let's say a politician rattles something off, okay, that whatever, we don't know if it's true or it's not true. Now we're going to be able to go into the energetic matrix and the energy of that information that was rattled off, whether it's spoken, written, it doesn't really matter. But you'll go into the energy strands of it and you will follow those strands. And now if they go to basically lower level consciousness, vibration, emotions, like it could be fear, guilt, hate, anger, all those like lower things, they'll stifle out. They won't really go very far. The strands won't really go very far, and they'll go into like lower vibration consciousness. And then you'll know basically that's where that information came from. And then you can ascertain at that point the level of veracity or the level of truth of the information. And then you'll see basically that if it's just a complete lie, the resonance of the information strands will show you in your consciousness that it's a complete lie. Now, the thing is, if you were to do this technologically, and at some point we will, other civilizations obviously do this technologically, but it takes like a supercomputer and super quantum resonance mapping to be able to pull this off. But because our consciousness is going through this expansion, we're tapping into like the universal mind, we gain the ability to do this. With each rise in consciousness, our ability to do this becomes easier and easier. Now, part of the reason why I'm saying this now is because if you happen to watch this video, it's something in the universe has you watching these videos, and something is helping you prepare, and there could be bigger things going on there. But it's also to prepare yourself that your beliefs that you were raised with, and the things that you hear out in society and that you're taught maybe through religion or philosophy or through whatever, it could be from other YouTubers, it could be from a cult, it could be anything, but you're going to gain the ability to look at all of those belief systems and trace them back to their origin of consciousness and their origin of thought. Now, if you trace something back that leads into the universal mind, and you can see that it goes into higher dimensions, and that it goes across space and time, and that it's full of very high consciousness, and that it has absolute 100% veracity, like it's totally true, then you know that whatever that belief is, that's something that you can basically take with you into this transition into higher consciousness. And those tend to be like more of like the heart-centered beliefs, the things that have to do with expansion of encompassing like unconditional love and those type of things. You'll see that there's a universal truth to a lot of those things. Now in a religion, you may take a couple ideas from a religion that you've just been the hardcore of your life. And then but then as you go into the actual mapping of the origin of those belief systems, they go back to some pope in the 12th century who created it to control people and control the masses. And then you go, oh my God, like it's literally, there's barely any truth involved in that belief. It's just a made up story. And you can go back, and we're going to be able to do this with everything. Not only that, but as we go through this process, the things that are unconscious or subconscious that we have held on to since childhood, or they could be emotions, thoughts, beliefs, all kinds of things, those start to come to the surface, and we can map all of those to see like things that we've been like holding on to that have been guiding our lives that we're not even really consciously aware of most of the time. Those things will come to light, and that's really huge, because then we start mapping those out, and it kind of sets us free from the brainwashing and the programming that we've all had in this society since childhood. Now, obviously, from my perspective, and a lot of some of the people that listen to this, you can do this with every single scientific principle there is. And you will basically be able to rate it or determine if it's true, if it's false, where it came from, what the origin of it was, what the motivations were behind the development of that scientific principle or that scientific theory. It could be everything that Einstein talked about. I mean, you can do everything from any scientist. And so, but it's not just that, it's religion, it's scientists, it's politics, it's just the cultural norms that are passed down from generation to generation. It could be anything to do with your heritage and your lineage. And so those things come to light, and it's important at this point for us to hold loosely, very loosely, to all of our beliefs, because they could all go under this scrutiny, because we're going to start to do it automatically. If you feel any kind of rise in consciousness as these waves come through and you're like riding the wave for a moment, you can go into just for fun or for practice, go into some sort of idea, concept, communication. It could just be from anything you read, watch, or whatever, and just like put it into it and go into the strand of it and follow the strand and see where it goes in that state of higher consciousness. And you'll go, holy crap, this is completely made up BS that I'm listening to. Or it's like, or, oh my God, like this idea or this thought goes straight into the universal mind, into higher dimensions, and it's pinging across space and time, across the universe, and it's fully supported, and it's actually something that countless civilizations have basically proven or gone through the process as well. And so this is the time to start doing that, but just to really be careful and let go of any traditional stuff, anything that could be like limiting, anything definitely that's based on fear or fear of the afterlife, fear of actions and consequences and judgments of the afterlife, all of those types of things, fear of control of society, of this whole, all these paradigms of that we're all slaves and that we've been imprisoned, and all of those. Watch when you go through those types of beliefs, follow the train, and it will take you either to the person who developed it, the consciousness who developed it, another being, a lower vibrational being, and why they were made, whether they were made to manipulate people or to sell books or whatever it is. And you'll see that, oh my God, that is absolutely not even true. And it's something that I need to let go of, because it's not going, those types of beliefs will not survive this transition. They are going to go away, because it's just, as we get universal consciousness, we're not going to be able to buy into stuff like that anymore. And you can do it, of course, with politicians, obviously, but with books and everything else. So please send in any questions and comments that you have, and please feel free to practice starting to map information, map your beliefs, map things that you're thinking about or that you've just taken for granted, and just pay attention to how things will come out of nowhere in your from your subconscious or your unconscious world, and things will come to light, and you'll go, whoa, it's time for me to look at that belief and like map the trail of it. Where did it come from? Is it okay? Is it going to survive? Is it something I really want to hold on to? Is it resonating with my heart, or is there a lot of dissonance that it's creating? And so it's just my 2 cents on this. And but it's just, I wanted to put it out there. And I will see you again next time.